Hey guys, welcome to another episode. Today we're going to continue our series on labels, and we're going to, more importantly, talk about the concept of good versus evil people. I don't know if you guys can hear the siren in the background. It's probably an ambulance, but I think that that sound right there speaks directly to the not just the current state of our society, but how our society began, how it's because you guys have to understand that all of the craziness that you see around you right now, all of the turmoil, all of the chaos, all of the I'm sure that you guys have heard more sirens lately than you probably have in your life. And it all goes back to, obviously it all goes back to Adam and Eve, which if you guys pay very close attention to how this all began, and how how the story of Adam and Eve is talked about. It's not just a story, it's this is real life. But when Eve was tempted by Satan to go and eat from the tree of knowledge, she was tempted because Satan had built up so much promise and all these guarantees that if she goes and eats from that tree, she'll have more knowledge than she ever has before. She will be more powerful. And of course, a lot of people blame Adam because Adam was the male figure of of that couple. So a lot of people place the blame on him, but that's really where this all started, and that's how they started to when Eve had shared the fruit that she had picked off of the tree of knowledge with Adam. Then they both started to immediately feel shame. We're naked. Why are we naked? And that's how this all started. That is where it is not just it wasn't just the tree of sin that they partook in or grabbed the fruit from, but it's this overemphasis on the ego, and how how more or less important our minds are. And so because of our ego, because of our false sense of self, that is how we are able to label everybody as good people, evil people, narcissists, a whore, a lazy person, whatever it is that you want to call somebody, just because that's all it really is. It's projection of your own faults, your own shortcomings out onto other people. If you really were truly at peace with yourself, if you really did love yourself as much as you claim you do, and you legitimately had peace, you are no longer dependent on external validation or external circumstances. You no longer are dependent on happiness. You are no longer dependent on good feelings. You were truly at peace with who you are. You have so much joy that nobody can explain it. You wouldn't be calling other people this. You wouldn't be calling other people the good guys. And you also wouldn't be calling other people the bad guys. And that's where this whole political, I mean, that's why our founding fathers had first talked about it being completely, that's how they were able to come to the conclusion that the two-party system would be the end of our country. It would be the end of society. And you're seeing it right now. There has never been a bigger, stronger division among our country than we have right now. And it's palpable. You can feel it everywhere. But let me go ahead and just clarify something with you guys really quick, because I know that there's a lot of differences between this group and that group. I know that there's obvious differences between the right and the left. There's differences between Christians and Catholics. There's differences between red and blue, right? And it doesn't matter what you affiliate with. It doesn't matter what you call yourself. It doesn't matter what you think you believe in or what you think you have faith in. The other group, the other party, or the other person is always going to look at you the same way that you look at them. So if you are, for example, if you are on the right and you're looking at the left and you're calling these people crazy and that they're evil and that they want to tear down this country, well, they might feel the exact same way about you. If you identify as a Christian, if you identify as an evangelical Christian, you might point at Catholics and go, well, they don't have the right ideology. They are misled. They are misguided. Well, they might also feel the same way about you. Okay? So it's not me here saying that, Christians are right and Catholics are wrong, or that Catholics are right and Christians are wrong. It's to say that whatever bad or uncomfortable feelings that you might have towards somebody or some group, it really comes from this confusion that you have of not really knowing who you are. Because to not know who you are and not know some of the things that you might be holding on to can be very very uncomfortable, very confusing. You go throughout your whole life not really knowing what you're doing or what the right answers are or who to trust or who to talk to. Many people go throughout their whole lifetime doing that. It's not necessarily that you reach a certain age, you reach 25, 30, 40, 50, 60 years old, and then finally I have so much life experience. I've been through all these different things. I was involved in this group. I had a job in this field. I did this, I did that. I went to school for this many years, and I've been married. I had raised kids. My kids are now grown with kids of their own. And, you go through the list, right, of all these different things that you did in your life or that you haven't done in your life. And all of a sudden you reach this point in your life where maybe you're at a certain age where, you feel like people have to listen to you, which, if you believe deep down in your soul that you have a lot to offer to other people and that you can be of great service and a contribution to other people, that is a very good thing. I'm not knocking that at all. But the struggle, but the real problem is not the accomplishments. It's not the different things that you did throughout your life, or whether you claim to be a good person or a bad person. Maybe you're somewhere in between. Maybe you don't affiliate yourself with either. Maybe you see yourself as, an imperfect person that makes a lot of mistakes. But all the experiences, how old you are, it's neither here nor there. Because you might be 60, you might be 70 years old and you're watching this right now. But you probably know people, perhaps people that went to high school with you that are still sitting in prison. Are they much more experienced? Are they much smarter? Are they a lot wiser than me because I'm so young? Not necessarily, unless you use that prison time as an opportunity to look deep within. Because that's the thing about, like, if you were sentenced to prison, right? You have one of two choices. You can either completely dread every second and every minute, because every minute and every second feels like it's just getting longer and longer and longer. And, you know, if you spend 2 years there, it can feel like 20 years. Or you can use that as an opportunity to take advantage of the silence, the alone time that you get to really look deep within who you are. What are some of the hurt? What are some of the struggles? Because many people, more people than we like to admit, go throughout their whole life with all this hurt, with all this baggage that they're holding on to, that they may not even know that they're holding on to it. They could seem normal. They can seem like they have it all together on the surface. They may even delude themselves into thinking that way, but it's still there, and it's still there like 3 wet cloths hanging on your shoulder. It doesn't matter how many times you deny it. It doesn't matter how much you try to sweep it under the rug, or whether you try to project it onto other people and say that, oh, those people, those are the messed up ones. Those are the screwed up ones. Those are the good, you know, I'm a good person. Those people are evil, you know, and it's all a reflection. That is why this whole concept of good versus evil, and look, I get it. We need some level of good versus evil to determine who's doing the right thing and who's doing the wrong thing, right? But there's so many obvious examples of what is good and what is evil. My whole point in bringing this up is that many people, you know, who are either placed in the category of good or evil, every single thing that they do in their life, or every single thing that they say, unless they are very conscious of it, which most people are not conscious of who they are or what they do or what they say, unless they are conscious of what they do, unless they are observant of themselves, they can do good things, they can do bad things. I happen to, you know, over these last several weeks, as I've done the spiritual work and I've really started to get to know myself personally and what I struggle with, that, you know, I think that has helped me become more empathic with other people, because I'm starting to notice that it's not really them that's you know, that's mistreating somebody or mistreating me or doing something wrong. That is not them. They are acting and they are living their life from a state of unconsciousness. You know, all these politicians. That's why I've gotten to the point now, honestly, where I will not call any politician, you know, whether Republican, Democrat, conservative, liberal, you know, or any entertainer, anybody in Hollywood, any political figure, any person of influence, I will not call evil, because I know that for most people deep down, they've started where they are, you know, especially if it's politics, with good intentions. You guys have probably heard the saying before, right? That the road to hell is paved with good intentions. And that is why, that is what Adam and Eve really started, is the deep unconsciousness of humanity, because they wanted to feed their ego. They felt like all of this land, everything that God has given to them, is just not enough. And so they need more, you know. That's where this all comes from. That is where evil truly comes from. Nobody is inherently evil. Even the most people that have done the most brutal, heinous, you know, actions towards other people that you can imagine, at some point in the beginning had good intentions, but they have gotten so carried away and they've gotten so easily influenced by people around them, you know, going in their ear, telling them to do this, to do that they have completely lost touch. So anyway, guys, I think I'm going to do a part 2, because honestly, I have so much more to talk about and so much more to uncover. But until the next episode, I hope that you guys have a great rest of your day. I love you. I will talk to you again in the next episode.